Feed a Loon. I'm Chris.
And I'm Wesley.
My light, delicate, and fruit-forward loon.
Definitely.
You are fruit-forward.
That's right. That's very funny.
Thank you. We're going to explain that in just a moment.
Yes.
You're going to die laughing when you hear it.
I'm
So
sure.
today is really something special.
Yes.
I mean, we are excited. We're about to pop. We're so excited because we are making a special meal.
Yes.
And we are so thrilled because we are partnering with
Erath wines.
we'll talk about them in a moment.
But they are so good. But anyways, we're partnering with them to develop a holiday dish.
Yes.
To pair it with, and we've come up with the perfect dish.
Yes, we have. So let's tell them. It's our
Filet Mignon with Bordelaise sauce.
Doesn't that just sound like amazingly incredible? So it's one of those special occasion meals. We're going to show you some really cool techniques for cooking that you may not have used before. That's what we do here at How to Feed a Loon. We kind of throw a few new things at you. Kind of get you excited to maybe try some new things. We're going to do some, we're going to do some ingredients that maybe you've never cooked with before, but that are really easy to find and is so good. And what were you about to say?
And we're going to pair it with Erath wines.
And we're going to pair it with Erath wines.
They're wonderful Pinots. Oh, their Pinots are amazing. Anyway. We'll talk a little bit
more. They're from Oregon, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So let's talk about these. Let's kind of move this way down. So let's start down here. You may be wondering, what in the world are those things floating in that water? Well, this is one of those ingredients that I'm going to tell you about that seems kind of unusual. The taste is ridiculous. It reminds me of you may think of in France, like snails, escargot. It seems like, ooh, that's so gross. And you eat them and they're just phenomenal.
Amazing.
So
Some people still think that escargot is gross.
I know, but they haven't probably tasted it.
This is so good.
So we should tell you what this is. This is beef bone marrow. Yes. So it is the most succulent, delicious, buttery thing that's going to top these steaks. So let me tell you how we got to this point. Okay, so you're going to want to start this in the morning before you prepare it. So, first of all, you're going to need to go eat. You can find these so often in well-stocked supermarkets in the frozen section of the meat department, or go to your butcher. Go to your butcher and say, "I need some beef marrow bones," and he'll know exactly what he or she will know exactly what you're talking about. And just tell him you want them cut into like 2.5-inch pieces. They're going to know.
Those are about that's about 2 inches.
Yeah. So then what we're going to do is so that the bones and then that marrow is in the middle. Clearly. So we put those bones into some chilled water and let them sit for about 20 minutes and just going to kind of loosen things up. And this is where you think this is gross. It looks gross, but it's just stay with it. You're going to take them out of the water and you're going to use your thumbs to just kind of press that marrow right through, and it'll just it'll come on out. You may have to kind of coax it out, and it may come apart a little bit. That's okay.
But you have a way if it's stuck in there. What do you do?
So now if some of them, and this happens, it's not uncommon at all. Actually, it's common. Sometimes they just do not. That marrow does not want to come out. All you got to do is put a little water in a bowl. I put it in the microwave, nuke it for like a minute. You don't want to put it in boiling water because it'll cook that marrow, and you don't want to do that yet. And then it just loosens it up.
Once you warm it up, you throw in the bones for just like a minute or so.
A minute, let it sit in that warm water for like a minute, no longer.
And then you push it right out.
And just push it out, and it usually comes out no problem.
Right.
Okay. So
then you put them in some cold water for about 2.
Well, you want a minimum of 2 hours, and you can let it go for like 6 hours. So it's going to go about the same amount of time that our steaks are going to be going.
Yes.
Okay. So now.
And now, I'm going to cut these into little medallions now that they're all prepared.
So these medallions, we're going to cook them up just very briefly right at the end, and they're going to be on top of the steaks.
Look at that.
Primo.
Perfect.
Isn't that amazing? That's incredible.
Yes.
This is so exciting, you guys. We're going to have so much fun.
Keep on going. Come on.
So now this is the kind of the cool cooking technique that I told you about. Have you ever heard of sous vide? You probably had. It's very popular in a lot of high-end restaurants because chefs use these because it's a way that it cooks the meat perfectly. And I'm not going to take this out, but this little contraption right here stands by itself. It's a standalone. This is just a pot. You can put this in any kind of a pot, and you're going to fill it with water. And what it does is this circulates that water and it gets it to the perfect temperature that it's going to
there.
And it keeps it at that temperature for as long as you need it to cook your protein. Or your vegetables. So what we've done is I went and got a couple of filet mignons from my butcher. I asked for the prime because he had that, and I was like, why not? It's a special occasion.
Exactly, it's the holidays.
It's the holidays,
Yeah.
and they were like this thick, which is brilliant. It's fabulous, but usually when you get a filet mignon, they're like an inch thick. So that means we just have to cook it a little longer, but we'll talk about that in a moment. So what you do, this seems weird, but it works, and it's incredible. You get a couple of, just a plastic baggie for each steak, and then I just squirt a little bit of oil in there because you kind of want to lubricate the inside of the baggie, and then you lower your steak in there, and then you do that for the other steak, and then you just lower. Okay, so you lower them. Actually, we've already got this going. So,
yes.
So let me tell you about that. So we want to you're going to submerge this in the water. You turn it on. So now I have a chart in the blog post that tells you what temperatures and how long you need to set this for depending on how well done you like your steak. So we're going to cook these to a medium, which is going to mean we need to bring it to 138 degrees Fahrenheit.
Right.
So there's this little dial up here, and you just turn that until you reach 138, and very quickly it reaches that temperature. It's really amazing.
Now back to the meat.
Back to the meat, please.
So you take the meat in the bag, and then you lower that bag into the water. And as you lower it into the water, the air kind of just seeps out of the bag, and it just clings itself to the meat. And then that's when you can seal the bag, and that's what they're doing right now.
And then you literally set it and forget it.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. So since I
can't forget about it because it's meat.
I know he's constantly coming back and looking at it. I'm like, let him get away. But like I said, if this was just a regular 1-inch filet mignon, it goes for an hour.
Yeah.
Now here's the most mind-boggling thing about this is that once it reaches that temperature of like 138 degrees, then it's done. It stays at that temperature. That's why chefs use this, because we've had this in here for, I don't know, 5 hours.
Yeah.
But it got done cooking because these are so thick.
Probably 2 hours ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So after 3 hours, but they stay warm. They stay at the perfect temperature. They don't overcook. It's a crazy thing.
So delicious.
They're delicious. They're delicious. Can you tell we're excited? Okay. So we've talked about that. Now we're going to move on.
Let's go to Bordelaise.
Let's Bordelaise. Okay. All right, let me get this going. I just didn't want to overdo this. So now Bordelaise utilizes this amazing Pinot Noir wine that we've got from Iraq.
And what is our slogan?
If it's not good enough to drink, it's not good enough to cook with.
Right, or vice versa.
Or vice versa, I'm sure. So this is primo wine.
Yes.
It's great.
Yes.
It's just so perfect for this sauce.
We are using their classic Pinot Noir 2017. It goes
delicious.
Perfectly with this Bordelaise.
It's this ruby translucent that is just gorgeous, and it's just fantastic.
So we're going to practice what we preach. We're going to use it, and then we're going to drink it.
That is right. That is good. That's words to live by. So now what I've got over here is I took the liberty of kind of get this started. Over medium heat, medium-high heat, you want to drop in a couple tablespoons of butter and let that melt. Then I'm going to add in just one large shallot that I have finely chopped.
I love shallots.
I know, it's the smell. It's got that sweet. Kind of oniony smell. Okay, so that's simmering. That's good. So now I've got 1.25 cups of this gorgeous, gorgeous wine that we've gotten from Iraq. Oh, I almost hate to do that because I'm like, I want to drink it.
No, but it's going to be perfect.
But then you smell it and you're like, and then I've got right here, I've got just a nice big sprig of thyme and a fresh bay leaf, okay? And what we're going to do is now this is going to start to reduce. No, it's good. This is going to come to a simmer, and you want it to reduce down by about a half. And that's going to take about 15, 17, maybe 20 minutes. And then we've got right here, now this is what is called veal demi-glace.
Ooh, yes.
Demi-glace, this is another one of those really cool ingredients maybe you haven't cooked with. It's difficult to make. It's very time-consuming to make on your own.
So buy it.
So this is one time I'm saying, go out and buy it. You can find it. I don't mind saying this. I get mine at Williams-Sonoma. They have a beautiful variety. You can also get it online, and I have a link to it online.
You can get it online. Yep.
We're going to add that in just a moment, and it's going to build this most amazing sauce that's going to go on these steaks with those incredible incredible bone marrow medallions. Oh, this is good. Okay, folks, we have made some good progress.
Yes.
So let me tell you real quick what we've done. So we finished up our Bordelaise, and the way we did that, like I said, I simmered it till it reduced by about half, and that was literally about 15 minutes.
Yep.
And then you're going to want to strain the herbs and I'm going to turn this down, the herbs and those shallots
Get
out
it
there.
all out of there.
You want to get it nice and smooth. So I just got a little sieve, just poured it in there. It's not a ton of sauce because a little bit goes a long ways. You don't want to smother this. And then you're going to add that back into make sure you've got all the shallots out of there and kind of clean the pan. Put it back on the heat, and then you're going to pour that strained sauce back in there, and then you add that incredible veal demi-glace. And the smell is incredible. And you just stir that and stir and let it simmer until it gets nice and
Any
almost
salt and pepper?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Yes, like a quarter teaspoon of salt and a quarter teaspoon of black pepper. And you stir that until it gets almost kind of like nice and syrupy.
Yes.
And that takes about 3 to 4 minutes. And then you're going to just cover it and take it off the heat.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's talk about these babies.
So we took these out of the sous vide. We carefully took them out of each bag, put them here, and salt and peppered each side. And now we're going to
sear them. So now these are cooked. These are fully cooked, but they don't really look that beautiful right now because they need a nice sear. So that's what we're going to do. So we got a cast iron skillet, and we've got this on pretty screeching hot, and we're going to let this go.
I love that sound.
I know. I don't even need to put any oil in there. There's some moisture from the steaks.
I love it.
And then you're just going to let that go. I let it go for about a minute and a half on one side, flip it over, and let it go for about 2.5 minutes on the other side. And then we're going to finish this baby up and drink some wine.
Yes.
Okay, folks, we are getting so close. I'm so excited.
Look at this meat.
Okay, so let me tell you about. Okay, keep it tended. So what we did, like I said, we seared it for just like about 1:20 on one side, flipped it over, and then let it go for maybe another 2 minutes, and it just locks in that flavor, gives it a sear. We need a good sear.
And that's when the dogs show up.
That's right.
We've got 2 circling dogs down.
And then what we do is we put them on just a cutting board, and you tent them and you cover with foil. Okay. So
they're
now
tinted.
We're bringing it home, baby. It's all coming full circle. Now we've got our Bordelaise sauce. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. It's stayed nice and warm, and so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna bring this to a simmer, and now we need to just gently cook this bone marrow, these little medallions. Now I should say that this recipe really.
Don't forget the butter.
I won't. I'll never forget the butter. This recipe really makes enough for probably 4 fillets. But it's just the 2 of us, which is kind of sweet and romantic. But anyway, so these don't take long. These only are going to cook for about 3 minutes, just to cook them just enough. You want them to be still nice and just wait till you have this. Okay, so let's talk wine.
And we are going to pair this filet mignon with this classic 2017 Pinot Noir from Erath. The great thing about a Pinot Noir with a filet mignon is that because the meat is so lean, it's perfect for the fruit-forward filet mignon. And a fruit-forward filet mignon.
Well, that's one way of saying
it. Pinot Noir. Now, I love Erath because they've been around for 40 years, and they are actually aren't they the #1 premier Pinot in Oregon?
Yes. And the great thing, what's so cool about Oregon, and I sort of knew this but didn't really fully know it, is that it's just one of those locations that is perfectly positioned to make the best Pinot Noir.
Yes.
It has the cool breeze coming in from the ocean.
Yeah, the marine.
And it's got a lot of sunlight in the afternoon, and then the cool autumn. The temperatures just make for the perfect grape, and it's just fantastic.
Yes. Look at that. This is what I'm using, folks.
Okay.
Now I'm going to pour some. How about that?
Yes, that sounds good. And I am going to what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this off with a little bit of butter. Let that melt in there. While that's melting, now I'm going to show you this. Hopefully you can see this. So these medallions are just beautifully cooked. They just turn kind of like a pinkish gray color. And again, it may seem like, I don't know, that seems kind of weird. Wait till you taste it. They are just phenomenal.
It's like frosting.
It is.
On a steak.
It is, in a most delectable kind of way. Okay, how are we doing over there, Loon?
We're good. We are ready.
Okay, I'm close. Can you take that spoon off there for me?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Okay, this is what you call a special meal. This is the perfect holiday meal. This is a perfect meal for any kind of like special occasion. I mean, shoot, it's so good. Do it anytime, the time you're in the mood for something super delicious. Okay, so now, like I said, this sauce goes, you don't need a ton of it.
I'm going to put mine over here, Chris, so that you can come over here and do it so people can see the beautifulness of your... Yes, I will.
Okay. The beautifulness
of you
the
pouring
pour.
that.
Okay, let's do this. Now, obviously, this plate should also have some, like, maybe nice...
Some asparagus.
Asparagus. Or,
y'all, you all. That looks wonderful.
That's crazy.
All right, let's dig in, shall we?
Let's do it.
Here, take that.
Thank you. Oh. I can hardly wait to have some of this wine.
I can't. Okay. Oh gosh, how tender is that?
Perfect. Look at that.
That's my perfect. Oh, here comes the dog.
And it's just so, it's perfectly cooked. All that you don't have any like dark spots, red spots. If there was ever a time that Wesley would think that he's died and gone to heaven, I'm speaking for him.
Yes, I've done it now. Here, take a bite.
Okay. Oh, well, I can't.
Oh. All right.
No, to have a drink.
Yeah.
We have to all make sure that it's all,
Here,
you know.
cheers.
Okay. Oh, look at this. I can see.
Perfect. Absolutely
The
perfect.
smell, the nose.
It's like it has a cherry, kind of a plum. Oh. So good. All right. Both of these are 100% Loon approved.
Yes! Oh my
now
gosh.
let me tell you where you can get the Erath wines. You can get them at your local store. Actually, this one is available at the local store, and there's a Pinot Gris that's available at your local,
wherever you go to
like
get
your
wine.
grocery store,
Well,
or
wherever you go to get wine.
right. And then they also have some really great exclusive wines on erath.com. Yay! Yeah.
I can't believe you didn't give this 10,000%.
Yeah. Well, I know. You know what? I was thunderstruck.
Really, that's amazing. I mean, the perfect pairing. It complements this beautifully. Oh my gosh, you guys, we love you. We love you. We love you, Erath.
Yes, we do.
It's a time to celebrate the good things in life.
Yes.
And this is the good stuff
And
in
please
life.
drink responsibly, please. Right.
Yes. By all means.
Cheers,
bye,
everybody. Love you.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, guys. Now, if you want to be a part of the Loon fun, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to hit that little bell icon so you won't miss a single recipe.
That's right. Oh, and speaking of recipes, if you want another amazing recipe like this, then just click right here.
Yeah, click.
Click.
Subscribe.
It's so much fun.